Here we go.
So did you guys ever look up to a superhero growing up? Because my dad is basically like my superhero. He's selfless, empathetic, and incredibly strong. So growing up as a little kid, my dad was really tidy. My grandma used to tell me that when he was 3 or 4 years old, he would refuse to play outside because he didn't want to get his clothes dirty. And he would personally iron out his clothes when he was 5 or 6 because he just needed to look spiffy all the time. Even to this day, this man has a brush in his car and brushes it on his way to court and everything. So he's just a really tidy guy. But then even as a little kid, when he was around 6 or 7 years old, my grandma told me that he would walk around with a briefcase that was twice the size of him, and he would just drag it around because he grew up in Texas, and so he used to want to combat the crime and beat up the bad guys, and so he thought that growing up and being an attorney would be his way to do that. So he just rolled around. But one of my favorite things I love about my dad is that he's a self-made man. He didn't really have a lot of opportunities growing up, but he really made something for himself. He was the first of his family to go to college, the only one of his entire family actually to go. And he actually didn't really know how to get there. When he was in high school, he was going through the application process. They didn't have as many counselors back then as they do now. And his class ranking actually qualified him for the ROTC Naval program. So he went ahead and did that. And he always describes it as the best and worst time of his life. Just hard work at boot camp and everything, but then he was also so grateful for the opportunity. He took classes at Rice University and University of Texas, and eventually, in his time in the Navy, he participated in this Argentinian exchange program. So he basically worked as a translator, and he got to travel all around South America with the Argentine Navy. So that was a really awesome opportunity for him. And he eventually went to law school. And he applied to 7 law schools, 6 in Texas, which is his home state, and 1 in California. And he actually got denied from every single Texan law school and only got into the California law school on a full scholarship. So he took opportunity of that, went to San Diego and actually met my mom on a blind date. But my dad never accepted any handouts. So that's something I also really appreciate from him. And he and I are really close. He actually knows me better than anyone. And when I was little, growing up, maybe, I say little, I was probably 10 or 15 years old, but he would take me to all my tennis tournaments. He was super adamant about getting my siblings and I into sports. I played basketball, lacrosse, soccer. I was 4 years old, like 2 feet tall, trying to make the shot. It never worked out. Height wasn't really my advantage. But my dad loved tennis, and he would try to get all of my siblings to play. He would drag my siblings onto the court. And he would say that the only kid that he got to drag to leave the court was me, because I was the only one who really liked it. And if I'm being honest, I only really liked it because he liked it. So I just thought that that was something that I can bond with him over. But we would drive to thousands of tournaments all around Southern California. He was adamant about getting my ranking up. He wanted me to play college tennis. I almost did. Didn't really work out. We chose academics over tennis, I guess, eventually, which was kind of hard for him to accept. He still wants me to play club, and I don't know about that one. Sorry, Dad. But so one tournament specifically was the first time I ever heard him curse. And it was my first satellite tournament, and this girl has this wicked hard serve, and I'm there, puny little Evie, just like trying to get ready for it. And it was difficult. I get off the court after the match, and he's like, "What was that?" And I explained she had a really hard serve, and he goes, "That's BS, Evie," obviously saying the word. And I was just shocked. That was the first and last time I ever heard my dad curse. Another bonding activity that we had is watching Dancing with the Stars. We've seen all 22 seasons together, never missed an episode, and we swore that once I went to college, we would never watch an episode without the other person. So over Thanksgiving break, I'm really excited to catch up on the season because the semifinals are tonight, but I have no idea who's performing because I haven't even kept up on social media. But like I said, my dad knows me best, and he always passed on a lot of wisdom to me. And one of my favorite things that he passed on to me is that the pursuit of life is to maximize happiness, because it's unrealistic to be happy all the time, but if you can maximize it, you'll be happy.